I really wanted to stay away from this series for the longest time. I've heard nothing but bad things about it from many reviewers on YouTube, and I didn't want to waste my time on a show that might annoy me, or worse, get me angry at yet another tarnishing of a beloved franchise. It's a comedy show, and comedy is a very difficult thing to get right, and what may be hilarious to one person may be incredibly boring to another. But after my review of Star Trek Prodigy, a commenter recommended this show to me as well, so I said, why not? How bad could it really be? And so, before my Paramount Plus subscription ended, I sat myself down and prepared to cringe at a comedic Star Trek show. And you know what? It wasn't that cringy, but it was boring. So boring. There isn't much to say about the show other than it's an animated next generation with comedic elements. Where the problem of the week isn't the focus, it's the drama unfolding between crewmates in the lower decks. It has an Adult Swim style of humor that falls flat every time. It's not as edgy as Rick and Morty, and not as funny as Family Guy. These are the shows I feel it's trying to emulate, but shoehorning it into Star Trek just doesn't work. You basically have to ignore the Star Trek aspect of it and focus on the characters, because these characters don't talk or act like they are in Star Trek. I couldn't relate to these characters at all. Everyone is whiny, they complain all the time, and try to have this dude bro attitude that just doesn't come off as natural. How do you have bad acting in animation? The delivery of their lines sometimes feel forced, and the script has nothing of interest. That is, if you can keep up with them. They don't stop talking, like being in a room of chatty high schoolers. Shut up, everyone shut up. There are no natural pauses between them, and they're all voiced in this very high-pitched, high-energy tone that becomes annoying. I enjoy the comedy in Star Trek to flow naturally and to serve the character growth and the plot, not this mile a minute, gotta get a joke in every 2 seconds script that the lower decks is trying to pull off. I would say that I like the captain and the bridge crew more than the main characters, until they started dropping F-bombs every 2 seconds, because cursing is funny, hee hee. I get that it's not the norm in this universe, and that's the joke, but it's just, Lower Decks could have been good since it has a good idea, but in my opinion, it just really isn't done well at all. I sat through most of the first and second season, skipping around some episodes just to see how the show progresses. There was no way I was going to watch them in order. These episodes are 24 minutes long, and they felt like 45. This was a real chore to watch, and I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. Not one. Not one episode made me laugh. I just got more annoyed by the characters after every viewing, and by the time I got to the last episode of Season 2, I see that the two main characters made it out of the lower decks to the bridge. But the characters are just as terribly written as they were since the very first episode. But it's not all bad. The traditional Star Trek stuff that's on display is really good. I was more interested in the action set pieces than the comedy bits that they tried to stuff in there. It's like every joke on Lower Decks has been done before, but better somewhere else. I think if I had wanted to watch an animated sci-fi comedy, I'd rather watch Futurama again. Those first few seasons are much more creative and still make me laugh every time. I really don't want to bag on this show too much, since I know people like it, but I can't relate to the characters, and the humor isn't doing it for me. And like I said, comedy is different for everybody, so if you enjoy the show, then have fun, but I don't ever want to watch it again.